All right. Yeah. So I'm Justine. Erin, so nice to meet you. So I founded the Herbalist Collaborative a couple years ago. This will be our third session of it. And I wanted to, first of all, I just think I'm going to just burn some Palo Santo and just sort of clear the space and take a moment to just settle in. Yeah, and so before I go ahead and speak too much, I'd love to just go around and introduce ourselves. And something I'd just love to hear from you is what you love most about being an herbalist or working with herbs, and how you came to be here today. I can go first. So I'm Justine, and I love working with herbs, and mostly it's interesting. The more I develop my business, the more clear it is to me about herbalism being a spiritual path for me and keeping me connected with nature, which I really get a lot from. So that's what I love most about herbalism, and I'm here because I seek community and a deeper connection with plants. So Erin, would you like to go next?
Sure. Excuse me, I'm Erin. I'm in northeastern Vermont. Um, and my echinacea is looking a little sorrowful this morning too. Um, I've been learning about herbs probably for just about 10 years, and it started with a, a like Tuesday night class in a little cabin in the middle of the winter that I took to sort of ward off winter blues, just to be doing something and get out of my house. Um, and then I was hooked, and it's been nothing but like classes and potions. And, I have a little medicinal garden, and then it just keeps growing and growing and growing. I had a bunch of school, and then I finished a 2-year intermediate program. So I'm kind of in a place where I'm figuring out now what. Selling a little bit of stuff at markets. I read tarot out of a healthcare collective. And I've done some like consultation bartering with other people in the collective. So I'm trying to figure out before I invest. I mean, if I could, I would invest all the time and the money in the world into education, but of course, those are finite resources. So I'm trying to figure out before I take the next step and invest more time and money into whatever's next, clinical mentorship or advanced classes or something like that, what I actually want the outcome to be. So I feel like first I need to spend some time playing, trying a little bit of all of the things. So I'm trying to find something in between, um, like a mentorship or a clinical practice and just learning on my own. And that's what brought me to you.
That's amazing. I think you found the right place, but we'll
I
come.
hope so.
I'm watching us all like giggle and like nod our heads. Everyone's like, yes, we're resonating with all of that.
Totally. Tamar, do you want to go next?
Sure. I like really appreciate hearing your words, Erin. And like you start off saying, you found herbs like beginning to like ward off winter blues. That was sort of a beginning connection for you. And so it reminds me of my passion and my involvement with herbs. I've been working with herbs for over 30 years in many different ways and forms and different locations. And the bottom line is that it just connects me to my like deepest inner joy, and that combats the blues that I've also dealt with in my life. So just living with an involvement with something that just brings such pure joy makes me feel like I'm so aligned with my purpose in life when I'm working with herbs and working with other people who work with herbs. And I love working with community, and I'm an educator. So and I love to make medicine. and grow medicine. And so it's like Justine, it's also deeply spiritual for me and emotional, and I'm just really grateful to be here. I could say so much more about my background and what I do, but I live in Northampton, Massachusetts, and I have a large family, and I've really tried to make herbs be integrated with my life, with my family, with my community. And yeah, and I'm happy to have this extended herbal family here. It's really just a huge pleasure and a privilege.
Thank you, Tamar. We love having you. Joanna, do you want to go? You're muted, did I tell you? Okay.
There you go. Basically, I could probably say the same exact things as Tamar said. It's the same, I love everything about the plants and everything about herbs. I feel at my most joyful and my most peaceful when I'm working with them in any way. I love growing herbs. I'm an herb farmer. I'm a formulator. I make medicine. I make self-care. I have an herb shop. Yeah, I've been doing it. I would say I've been an active herbalist for about 20 plus years myself, in some form or another. Studying, still studying, always studying, will always study. And I'm just really happy to be part of this group. I'm happy to be part of this group for the community that it brings. We're all so similar in so many ways. And that speaks, I think, to something very important, because it can feel really lonely sometimes. People who aren't really involved in the natural world or in herbalism, I think, have a hard time understanding it a little bit. Although I believe that more and more people are seeking the people have a void. I feel that most people have a void. And I think that most people are seeking this type of connection, and are learning more and more that we need to reestablish our connection to the earth, in so many different ways. It's just, we are symbiotic with everything in nature. So I think that there's this awakening happening, and it's really lovely to see. So I'm just really grateful to be part of this community. I could also go on and on forever. I'm an awkward speaker, so I won't. I'll repass the torch to somebody else, but I'm just super grateful to be here, and I can't wait to see you guys in person, I hope, at some point.
Thanks, Joe. We love having you.
Mm.
Jen, do you want to go?
There we go. I had to unmute myself. I'm Jen Prince now, but I've been working with herbal medicine for probably 20 years off and on. I started studying with just books and experimenting, making medicine and looking at different techniques. I took a little bit of a break, but I've always just felt very at home in the woods. Like, I feel like whenever I'm stressed out or whenever I need clarity, I just go to the woods, and they've always been kind of my sacred space. And then to realize that I could use the plants to, find solace and also heal myself for different, medicinal properties and purposes was just so uplifting and encouraging. I struggled with anxiety for a really long time. And so I kind of turned to the plants to sort of ease a lot of that, and actually was a success story that I'm really proud to be able to say I was actually able to kind of work with that and get off all the medication for it and use the plants. And it just was something that is a gift that I didn't expect to receive from the woods. But ever since then, I've been a believer, and I've been working with it, and I've taken different certification courses. I was part of this group the last 6 months, and it was fabulous. Everybody in here is just so wonderful, and I've learned so much. And I think that what it's brought for me is just that sense of community and understanding other people's perspective of the plants, because I feel like even though the plants definitely have their own specific properties that are maybe universal to the plant, everybody kind of interprets them and uses them a little bit differently. And I think they speak to you differently, and they also work with different people's bodies differently. So it's so fascinating to me to just see how versatile they are and how others use them, and also to have that camaraderie within the group. So that's one of the reasons why I love this group. We all kind of met at the International Herbal Symposium earlier this year, and that was super fun to be able to meet everybody in person, and hopefully we'll get together again soon. But I like to public speak and teach. I do that with both my marketing career as well as herbalism. I teach tea workshops. I also love making medicine. I like to think, I feel like it's a bit of alchemy, kind of blending different herbs and making teas and making tinctures. And I do it mainly for my friends and family. I do have an Etsy shop, although it's on vacation mode right now because I'm going through a rebrand. I want to work on my website and kind of put my medicine on there. But really, I just enjoy it because it feeds my soul, and I just enjoy it for that reason. So I feel like my tribe is coming to me. They're calling me to them as well. So it's been a journey, but I feel like I've even just started it in the last few years because it's been a launch pad for me. And now I'm just, all the people that I feel like are meant for me to be in my life are coming to me and sharing their experiences as well. So I really enjoyed it.
Thanks, Jen. I love that. And B, would you like to go?
Sure. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, sorry. So Jen, I want to go to one of your tea things, so I can borrow the method.
That would be so fun. I would love it.
I would love it too. It'd be great to see you in action. So I'm B, as you can probably hear, I'm from the UK. Years ago, before I went to college, I thought I was going to do a herbal medicine course in the UK. And in those days, the British government paid you to go to university. So I chickened out of doing the herb course and did botany instead, thinking it would be related. But it wasn't, academic botany is completely different. And so I went on a long career path where I ended up studying the history of Chinese medicine, becoming a professor. And I was just thinking about how I got back into it, Justine, and I realized what it was that I got a dog. Because the flora here is a bit different from the flora in the UK. And so there are lots of plants here that I didn't recognize, even though I'd studied botany. But taking a dog out 2 or 3 times a day, because I was living in a condo, so there was nowhere to let him out to just do his business. I realized I was spending all the time on the end of the leash looking at the plants and then bringing them back and looking them up in my herb books and working out how they were. Anyway, so got the dog probably 12 or 13 years ago now. And in the meantime, I've done various courses, and I'm currently finishing up the professional herbalist course of the Heartwood education system. So it's a course that when I graduate, I'll be licensed in the UK to be a clinical herbalist. In the UK, you can, I just did a clinical exam on Monday where I had to get my stethoscope and my, otoscope for my blood pressure and all that. And they were testing how I would do it, because you're allowed to do that in the UK. You're not allowed to do it here. So I came to this group in a very similar space, I think, that you are, a year ago, where I saw Justine on Instagram because I follow Mary Blue. And Justine just has this amazing aura. I was like, well, she's a bit young. Can I learn from her? But she's got this really wonderful way of bringing us all together and creating a space where we can learn from each other really in a really healthy way. So it's been this fabulous and encouraging experience where, I'm thinking, I'm getting old now, and I'm thinking about it's time to retire. I'll probably retire a little bit early so that I can do herbalism. So I spend a lot of time wondering about whether I'll make enough money to fill the gap between retirement income and what I earn now, or close to it. And this group has been fantastic about, thinking about what we need to do, how we need to market ourselves, what different paths there are, how we can, put together a livelihood as well as a passion. So I feel like I probably came to the group with the same kind of I don't know, it's not really an impasse, but it's like, okay, what now kind of feeling. And yeah, and so this has been great. I find it totally uplifting and encouraging, and I'm ready to retire into being a full-time herbalist. Or I will be soon.
That's amazing. I love that. Thank you so much, B, for sharing that. Yeah, it's funny. I'm just thinking about how before creating Healer's Harvest and the Herbalist Collaborative, I was so uncomfortable being the center of attention in any way. So like for years, I was like, I will never teach. No way, not happening. And then when I developed the Herbalist Collaborative, it was I had gone to the last person I'd studied with, and I have 5 different herbal certificates now. So I'd done all these different programs, and I kept wanting, like what you said, kind of, Erin, the next step. And I didn't feel like I was finding exactly what I was looking for, because I didn't necessarily want to be a really clinical herbalist. And there were programs that you could spend, thousands and thousands of dollars on. But I was like, I don't know if I want to do that, because I don't know how quickly I'll be able to even make that money back. And like, I'm not sure that's where I want to go. And I sort of wanted something middle of the road for people like myself who just like loves herbs and wants to deepen my own relationship with them, and yeah, share that with friends and family, but maybe I don't necessarily want to have a clinical setting. And anyway, I went to my teacher and kind of told her what I was looking for, and she was like, I think you need to stop studying and start creating and start doing it, create what you're looking for. And when she said that, I was like, oh my God, you're so right. Because at that point I had like 10 years under my belt. I'd done so much studying. It's like, yes, you're right. But I also still had a lot of my fears. And I created the Herbalist Collaborative with the kind of mantra, perfectly imperfect. And I just kept moving forward, even though I never felt ready. And then I also created this space, and I kept telling myself, I'm not a teacher, I'm just holding space. And that's what I'm doing. So it makes me feel comfortable to feel like we're all peers here, but yeah, we have so much exciting growth since this group has started. And Tamar, you've been here from the very beginning, and so it'll be fun to hear your perspective of how things are changing. But yeah, so that's my story pretty much, and how this came to be. And
I just want to give a brief reflection. Like, I met Justine, we were in an in-person course up in Conway, Massachusetts with Brittany Wood Nickerson. And she was one of the most, I was such a talker. I like talk so much in class. And there's a lot of people in class, Brittany was very, everyone, give everyone space to talk. I think Justine was probably one of the quietest people in the class. Just, you had very thoughtful questions, I remember, but you were very unassuming and very like, I'll just like melt into the background, sort of, and it's been such a pleasure to watch you just blossom and take the advice of your teacher and just really create something. It's just like flowered so beautifully. And, when there was a glitch or this, and you just kept going, and you just kept going, putting one foot in front of the other. It's such a lesson for so many of us.
Totally. I can even say, Tamara, kind of going on that, even the last 6 months, kind of meeting Justine and all of you, I feel like you said, there really has been so much growth, and even Justine kind of going with the flow of the group and having it evolve. I feel like it's a living, breathing thing. And it's something that we all kind of contribute to and grow, and you kind of steer the ship, and it has been kind of cool to watch.
Oh, thank you guys for that.
So Erin, you should know that what you step into might look different, in the future. I love that Jen just said it's a living, breathing thing. This is it's such a unique program because it evolves as we evolve as herbalists. Like, your contribution, who you are, is going to help form what we do. And in turn, it's going to return to you and help mold you in your growth.
100%.
So true. Thank you guys for sharing that. So I'm going to share my screen, and just kind of wanted to walk through, where did it go? Hold on one second. I wanted to just walk through the website that I created because, gosh, I put so much energy into it. But I hardly ever refer back to it. But I feel like everything is there. Everything I want to say is on this website. So here's the Herbalist Collaborative page. I don't know if you've seen this. I don't know if, yeah, I don't know how much of this any of you have really seen, but I was preparing for today and just reading this one sentence. This is a quote from Seja Papam. It says, "The true herbalist is not just trained by others who heeded the same calling, but is instructed by the wisdom of the natural world, a student of the plants themselves." And I just love that quote so much because I feel like everything I've created really is like revolves around this idea, like I was sick of just like reading text, reading literature and studying and trying to memorize. Like that didn't feel authentic to me. Like I felt like I was always trying to memorize things, and it wasn't the relationship I wanted with herbalism. And so this is what I was looking for, was like, how do you go from being somebody who studied for 10 years to like really like in relationship with the plants and really kind of starting to see the world through a more energetic lens. Our last teacher, me and Tamar, studied with Brittany Nickerson, and just a lot of these teachers, including Seja Papam. They, teach a lot about the herbal energetics. And I just like remember learning about that so long ago, 10 years ago, and being like, what the heck is that? And I knew there was something I was missing, like something I didn't quite get. And it sounded a little woo-woo. And I was like, and I was always like, I was always skeptical of stuff like that. But the more I've studied, the more different practitioners I've seen, like for example, my acupuncturist, Maria Joanna, she taught me a lot about energetics through just going to see her regularly. And I was like so fascinated by this idea because it's really like seeing the body and the plants and just like looking out at the world from this this different lens that's just like so intuitive and accessible to anyone if we just pay attention and tap into it, and so that energetics piece is another part of why I created this group, was because I really want to deepen into that and practice that and train myself to see the world that way, see myself that way, and the plant that way. So I'll scroll down. I did wanted to mention that one of the biggest things this year that is going to be different from years prior is that we've invited Kat Meyer, who has been in the industry for 30 years, and she does energetic herbalism. She's the author, actually, of this book, Energetic Herbalism. Oh yeah, you can't see it because I'm sharing the screen, but I'll show you later. And she's going to come once a month and lead us through case studies, because I have been trying to facilitate that. And I think everybody's been generally happy with it. But my feeling after doing this for 2 sessions was like, I want to learn from somebody who has all the experience. Like, I'm facilitating this group and like creating an opportunity for us to practice, but I really wanted to be learning from an expert, And when I went to the International Herb Symposium this year, Kat's class was the one and only class that I actually got to sit in for the whole thing. And when I was there, I just had that full body yes to everything. I was like, oh, this is the person that I need to work with, So I approached her after and asked if she would mentor me. She agreed. And then I ended up asking after a few months if she'd be interested in leading our case study group once a month. And she was excited to do that. So I'm super psyched. I think it's going to really like take this group to the next level this year. So, and another thing, I'm kind of going to be assigning readings from her book, Energetic Herbalism. So yeah, just continuing to sort of refine our studies. We'll take a deeper look at tissue states, because she talks a lot about those in our book. So yeah, that is one of the most exciting pieces. And then I just wanted to cover so we meet 4 times a month. The first Wednesday of the month is our medicinal plant journey meditation. And so this is the practice of we all bring some form of the herb to sit with, meditate with, work with, however, yeah, it could be a tincture, it could be the fresh plant that you're just sitting with. Some people do just kind of like sit and think about the plant. Usually I bring a cup of tea, but and then we take 5, I think I might bump it up to like 10 minutes this year because we never feel like it's enough time. But we sit and just kind of receive whatever we receive from the plant, and then we share our experience. And I don't know about you guys, but like that has been, it's been, what I've read about. It's like you develop a relationship with the plant. Like now when I think of time, like I know why I use it and when and what it feels like, but before it was just like memorizing these things like, oh, time is good for this, time is good for that. Well, now I have my own relationship with time that I can refer to, and like that is why we do this practice. But also for me, again, it's kind of a just being meditative and being intentional. And I've loved even just this practice of every morning having a cup of tea and sitting with it and thinking about the plant as I'm drinking it. It's like everything. I've talked to Tamara about this, but like everything can be sacred if we just take the time, and give it that time and energy and intention. And so this practice is just growing and building in my life, and that's exactly why I have it included in this program. This year, what we're doing is working with one plant throughout the whole month, and I'm going to make an effort to help inspire us throughout the month to, do exercises like journal, meditate, make medicine, draw, anything that inspires us to connect with the plant. So hopefully, we can do that this year, just kind of have more experience with the plant throughout the month.
I have some more information I'll share with you on plant dieta, which is called in traditional, cultures, a plant diet. My husband has been working on that, so I have extra info I can contribute.
I would love that. Yeah, totally.
Just all different. It's just like a whole broadened array of things to help get involved with your plant.
Yeah, I love that. Do you want to go ahead and do that now?
Yeah, I'll send you some information.
Do you want to speak about it or?
Oh, yeah, I could talk about it. My husband, who does somatic practicing, his teacher, and he also did psychedelic assisted therapy. His teacher offered a gift to teach this, and they had a curandero. They had somebody come and lead as a gift a plant dieta for them. And he's actually started a group. We've just started a group now, and him and I are doing a yarrow dieta right now. So we actually just started last night. But just different recommended practices. And we have a lot of these. I think Seja laid out, there were like 12 different things, but just, just involving yourself with the plant and really working on, it's an opportunity to like, clear your diet in your life, like from screen time and from certain kinds of foods, like, oils and fats and processed foods and sugar, and it really offers this space for you to like receive so much more of the plant's gifts when you can clear that, and also an opportunity to infuse your intention, things that you want, like what are you looking for in the plant, what are your hopes, and when you infuse that, then the plant can offer you like so much more. So I don't want to take up too much time now, but maybe I can share the information,
Yeah.
I'll share it in written form, and then we can.
Yeah, you can post it to the online group. That would be great.
Yeah, that's curious, Tamar. So like, would you only ingest the plant and that's it?
No, you eat food, but like, for example, we've really reduced sweeteners and like fats and even nuts. There's certain things in traditional cultures when you do this, like if you were in the jungle, if you were in the Amazon, like what would you be eating? Like we're not. So what we're doing what's called a soft dieta, because I'm like still in my life. I'm not totally like removed. I have like ton of kids right now. I'm like on the verge of like making a wedding soon. I'm like, there's like a lot happening in my life,
Right.
and I can't just like remove myself. So we all have lives. That's just the nature of it.
Right.
But there's a lot
Right.
you can do to incorporate it and have it be something morning and night where in addition to the other things, Erin, I don't know if you've heard of this, but there, where you can sit with the plant every day, you can draw the plant, you can write about it. Probably familiar. My husband this morning made a tea infusion of yarrow, and he put it next to his bath, and he took a bath, and then at the end of the bath he poured the tea over him, so the final at the end of the bath, so his final getting out of the bath, he was just like had this yarrow wash.
That's lovely.
Sounds wonderful.
I know.
I like that.
He might even be willing to come and do like an introduction if you're interested, because he just has all the information, he's done it before, so
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
So Justine, speaking too about the meditation with the plants, kind of going alongside with this, I think one of the coolest parts for me with that whole process is not only sitting with the plant and like really meditating on it and kind of coming up with whatever poetry comes to my mind, but it's helped me really get to know everybody else in the group too.
Yeah.
Because we all have kind of our own way of thinking about it and writing about it and experiencing it. So I really enjoy that particular session as well, just from that experience too.
Oh yeah, me too. I really appreciate that because you're right. Everybody experiences it different and then gets to express their experience. And it might be like you and Tamar especially are so poetic in how you kind of experience the plants. And it's so beautiful for me to hear because that's not how my brain works at all. But I get so much from like hearing you guys.
Thank you. It's so fun to like kind of see how everybody has their own method of self-expression too, which says a lot about, who we are. So it's been a really great journey for me, for sure.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you.
All right. I just wanted to share quickly, one of the exercises we had in my course was to make a tea of yarrow leaves and a tea of yarrow flowering tops and compare the two.
I love that. I love that. That's like deepening the connection even more.
Maybe we'll have a side conversation B. I'd love to hear of your
I can't remember now, but they're definitely different.
Yeah, it would be this. I think that's a great example of one of the ways we could experiment, throughout the month with like maybe you spend a few days with just the flowering tops and then a few days with just the leaves. Yeah, I love that.
We made a bowl next to our bed and we put like, we had prepared by ordering different forms or pulling from my apothecary, different forms of the one plant. So I have like a yarrow hydrosol, a yarrow flower essence, a yarrow essential oil, a yarrow glycerite, and then like preparing the tea. Got some fresh leaves from the garden. I have dried flower, a whole plant from last year.
Yeah. I love
So
it. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to move on to the second week of the month. We do our case studies. So like I already mentioned, Kat Meyer will be coming in to do that. And something that she's talked about, she works with soap notes, which I imagine you're very familiar with that. Are you? Not necessarily. Okay.
No,
okay.
I remember it's an acronym for something that I can't remember what it is. So
Yeah, and I actually have I made a PDF that I'm going to share with all of you today. So I'll email that, or maybe I can even add it to the chat and you can download it. But so it's basically stands for, I think, a subjective, objective. Oh God, I forget. Let me pull it up. I have it right here somewhere. Here it is. Okay. Subjective, objective, assessment, and plan. And it's very simple, just a way to break down how we talk about our case studies and present them, basically. So, I'll let her teach us about that because that's something that's new to me, but I think it makes a lot of sense just to create structure around how we do our case studies. So I'm looking forward to just everything that we learn from her this year. And then, so here I have members are encouraged to start offering herbal consultations to friends, family, or existing clients with a goal of working with a minimum of one client per month. Each month, a student will be selected to present a client's case to the group. And then Kat will walk us through the case study and share her extensive knowledge on herbal energetics to help us develop an energetics-based protocol for our clients. And you will receive a certificate of completion as long as you show up to all of the case studies and the plant meditations. And it's for 12 hours of practitioner skills development, which is good toward the American Herbalist Guild. And for anybody interested, I do have a lot of information on how to get yourself ready to be to become certified with the American Herbalist Guild, but it's not something I love to focus too much on unless people are really into it. So that's week 2. Week 3 is a business development workspace, which this has evolved, which is really exciting because just getting to know each other and ourselves and our businesses, we all sort of have realized we really need time. We need time to just work on the things that need to get done that are really challenging to get done. You know, when you're just somebody who loves plants and then you're trying to create a business out of it. I know I've really struggled with all the marketing parts of things. And actually that's how Jen ended up part of our group last year. She led 1 week out of the month, and it was a strategic marketing forum where she taught us a lot about branding and just kind of like how to be authentic in your business and just like how to get that stuff done. And so we all loved it, but we also felt like we need more time to actually put into practice everything we're learning. So the business development workspace will just be a time where we come together, you know, discuss these topics briefly, but really it's just kind of like a workshop where we go get to work and do the things, and we're accountable to show up and do it every week. So that's week 3 I'm really excited about. And then week 4 is just week 3 and week 4 are both optional. Like you don't have to come, but they're such an amazing resource. And week 4, I'm just calling our community gathering where it's like casual tea time and we just kind of connect and get to know each other on a personal level. And I wrote that it is a cherished opportunity for our community to gather and grow. And it really is. We all get really excited when it's just like the day to get together. Yeah, it's so nice, right? And I think it really has helped us feel like a community. And, you know, it's when we get to chat about what's going on in our personal lives. And I think that's so important. So it's optional, but highly recommended. So that's, I think, all I really wanted to go over. This is on the website for anybody that doesn't know. It's basically the entire 6 months, all the dates, and then each month what we're working with. So November will be burdock, December hawthornberry, January white pine, February prickly ash, March agrimony, and April chickweed. I chose agrimony because Kat Meyer talks about it a lot, so I'm just excited to learn what she has to share about agrimony. Yeah, and then that's
Excited to work with some of these plants. It's like a nice, it's a shift. It's a nice different group from a lot that we've been working with.
I know, I'm so excited. Well, yeah, we did the same ones 2 years in a row because I wasn't ready to like change plans, but yeah, I'm really excited as well. So I think that's pretty much all I had to share today. I'm going to share in the soap notes, see if that document will work if I share it in here. I wanted to know if, yeah, Erin, do you have any questions?
No, I'm definitely one of those people who will have, 30 questions within 15 minutes of us all getting off Zoom.
I can relate to that.
No, this has been amazing and informative already. I'm definitely getting some of that whole body yes you mentioned earlier. It's just so exciting to think of a nice concrete but open way to move forward and learn and connect and not be in that place of isolation where you're sort of solely responsible for your own growth, which I guess is not really a natural way of growing anyway, is it? Now that I'm listening to all of you.
Yeah.
So we're creating our own old girls network.
Yeah.
Not to offend any
That's
of you age-wise, but that's the way the male world works, right?
It's, yeah, I mean, it does, doesn't it? It is like a separate culture.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad. We would love to have you, Erin. And yeah, I can say confidently that you will not regret it. I did share the soap notes. Can you guys download that? Did you see it?
Cool.
It's in the chat. So if you want to download that and just read through it, something to prepare ourselves with for Catmire.
I was going to say, Justine, I noticed Maggie from Maggie's Healing Path has signed up, and I'm very excited about that because I met her at one of the Providence herb fairs and got some of her cream when I was running out of my own during my cancer therapy, and it was really good. So, yeah.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, she's going to be joining us. She's already signed up. I think there's going to be close to 10 people.
Fantastic. That's ideal, isn't it?
Yeah, one of them is the girl that won the raffle at IHS.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that will be exciting. And then I have a friend who really wants to join, but it's Tammy Kim. You know Tammy?
Awesome.
No, I don't know.
I
But
think
yeah.
she was in my neighborhood the other day. I saw
Oh.
that she saw a post that she was visiting a local apothecary, and I was
Oh,
like,
cool. Yeah, it could have been. And so
Yeah.
I hope she'll join, but she's struggling to know if she'll have the time. So anyway, does anybody have anything else they want to share before we wrap it up? No. That's cool.
Excited to get started.
Me too. I'm so excited. So Erin, our orientation is next week. I'm also gonna offer you a 10% off code today, which actually maybe I will also add that into the chat before we go. So yeah, orientation's next week. So that's just gonna walk us through like how to get to the Zoom links every month. And this is all stuff I'm still learning about on my end because managing a website was never something I set out to do, but is in fact what I do now. And actually
You've done such a good job with it though, Justine, organizing it and streamlining it. You put a lot of work in ahead of time.
thank you. I do enjoy
It shows it's very beautiful. Yeah.
I enjoy it, but there's so much that I still just don't know. So I'm constantly learning and it's all good. And I just, again, that mantra of perfectly imperfect and just like acceptance, this is where I'm at and this is what we've got going on and it's all lovely. So that's the coupon code for the 10% off. It's just October with a capital O.
Thank you.
Yes, it was so lovely meeting you, Erin, and thank you all for showing up today and supporting me, especially since I wasn't feeling well.
You even sound better now.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you. Good. Yeah, it's all your medicine you guys are giving me.
Group uplifts your spirits.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Thank you so much. And
Thank you so much, everyone. It was wonderful to meet you.
So
Yeah,
nice to
great to
meet
meet
you,
you
Erin.
too.
We
You
look
too.
forward to seeing you, hopefully.
reach out
So
to
next week, is that for all of us?
Yeah, if you want it, it's not mandatory, but it's especially for newcomers to walk them through how to log in and get into the group online.
Oh,
And
well, I definitely need a revision
Yeah.
on how to log in, don't I?
you should probably be there, B.
So my question was, have we got a herb that we're working with next week?
Yeah, so we're starting with burdock.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
But next week is orientation, so it won't be till November 1st that we actually start working with burdock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But that's the beginning of the plant meditation. Oh, that day is significant. I think I have Bob Dylan tickets for that night.
Ooh, nice.
Wow. So cool tomorrow.
I was like, I gotta see him before he completely
Oh, well, enjoy. It was such a pleasure and have a lovely day, everyone.
Thank
Have
you
a
so
good
much.
day.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Here.
Bye.